Do you have any techniques that can control our emotions when stress, problems, frustrations attack our mind?
So yeah, I mean, first of all, there is no such a thing called magical solution. And for me, knowing that itself, it's a magical solution for simple reason, because everyone tried to bring your attention. I give you this simple tip, that's it, and then you do it, and it's not working, and then you jump to another tip, which is wasting your time, and you feel more frustrated. So it's not going to be easy, but there is definitely tools that to do it. So first of all, we as emotional creature, our body directs us through these hormones. So cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and then you have other hormones like dopamine, which is the joy of finding something, so you can run behind it.
I want a good life, filled with highlights, and I want someone like you. I want paradise with the sunset, if I could only be with you.
What is the impact of frustration and stress in our career?
So definitely, I mean, whether it's your personal life or career, frustration and stress is this is where the human being comes into the survival mode. So basically, we have what we call this reptile brain, which is from the beginning, millions of years ago, was developed to protect us. And how to protect us is by really making sure that if there is any threat or any risk around us, bring that to our attention. And as a human body, this happens through the chemicals. So basically, the main chemical or the stress chemical we call the cortisol, and this is where the main job of this chemical is to switch off all your body system and just focus on the threat that in front of you. So millions of years ago, it was valid because you might, while you're walking in the forest, some tiger is attacking you. So definitely it's not the time to think, it's time to run. But now this threat changed from the physical threat into the social threat. So it could be definitely with different concentration of this stress hormone, but it still is there. So believe it or not, you are going through something similar with the less intensity. So while you're in such a mood, and I'm sure that you might have something similar, but this sometimes what happens to me when I'm stressful and I'm looking for something and I open the drawer and I want to take it, it's there, but I don't see it. So basically, the main thing when you are getting frustrated, when you are pumping this stress hormone into your body, you don't see things clearly. Your creativity faculty will be switched off. Your brain is just preparing for fight, flight, or freeze. So which is not something that it can help you to grow at all. So basically, you will have opportunities around you, but then you don't see it because of the stress, because of the fear, because of the depression, because of all this kind of feeling. Because it's not that time now to look outside. It's the time to look into what threat that I have in front of me, and then I need to tackle it. So basically, it will impact you negatively a lot, because with the stress, it will be much more difficult for you to communicate. Problem solving skills, which is one of the most important with all these changes that's happening with the AI and all of that. Problem solving skill is one of the most important things until now, along with the analytical skills. And this kind of skills, they come only with the creativity part of your mind. And when you are in this stressful mood, this is completely switched off, which means that you might see they have the opportunity in front of you, but you cannot utilize it because your brain is somewhere else.
I believe that when we face a lot of problems in the workplace or even in life, as you said, our mind is shut off. And as long as, even if you read the most and best books in the world, if you don't have some techniques that you're applying it, you will be always in survival mode. Do you have any techniques that can control our emotions when stress, problems, frustrations attack our mind?
So yeah, I mean, first of all, there is no such a thing called magical solution. And for me, knowing that itself, it's a magical solution for simple reason, because everyone tried to bring your attention. I give you this simple tip, that's it, and then you do it and it's not working, and then you jump to another tip, which is wasting your time, and you feel more frustrated. So it's not going to be easy, but there is definitely tools that to do it. So first of all, we as emotional creature, our body directs us through these hormones. So cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and then you have other hormones like dopamine, which is the joy of finding something, so you can run behind it. Serotonin, which is the hormone that give you the feeling of being respected, and then you have oxytocin, which is being part of the tribe, and then the last one, which is the endorphin, which is the hormone that mask the pain if you are having any kind of physical problem, and usually this is coming when you are in the gym, because in the gym your body doesn't know what's happening, so it starts to pump this endorphin, and that itself, it's a happy chemical. So since we talked about the gym, when you are going into the gym, you start lifting weights, so you might be able to lift, let's say 10 kg 10 times, and then suddenly you cannot lift more because you need to rest, but then after 20 seconds you can lift. So the main reason is that you have this chemical called lactic acid that go into your muscle, and when you rest, you are not resting actually the muscle in the sense of resting. Actually, while you are breathing and you're allowing this oxygen to clean out this hormone. And cortisol, stress hormone, exactly the same. So the first thing, you need to breathe in, you need to clean it out. And I'm sure everyone has similar examples where you are stressful about something, and after a couple of minutes or after a couple of hours,
you relax.
It is still there, it's not solved, but you don't feel anything about it because it's not there. So the first thing is you have to breathe in, and the second thing is you need to start to shift your energy from those levels to a higher level through simple question. Okay, this happened, what can I do about it? And if your brain always bring you back into this stressful moment, then take a piece of paper and pen and write it down. Try to trick your brain instead of your brain tricking you into this survival mode, which is not real. It's coming from this reptile brain. So try to write it down. And there are lots of, I would say, preventative techniques that you don't need to wait for that. For example, I really encourage everyone to do that every day before you sleep, with your family, with your friends, by yourself. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 things that you enjoyed or you really loved doing this? And while you're answering this between you and yourself or with your family, sense the shift in your energy and see how much you are becoming happy. And this way you are training yourself into being happy. It's not about only survival, it's about really enjoying this life. There is another technique that I really love, especially when you get stressful or you feel down or you feel self-doubt. And this is from an amazing book called Can't Hurt by David Goggins. So this guy, he's very famous in challenging himself. So he used to be a marathon runner, but this mega marathon, so it's 160 miles. And he was doing it for simple reason. He wanted to challenge himself. And one time also he broke record number for the total number of pull-up. I think he achieved 4,000 plus in 24 hours. And whenever they ask him, why you're doing this? I'm just challenging myself. I want to go back. I want to make sure that I am strong mentally. And in his book, he highlights an amazing tool called the cookie jar. You like cookies?
Little, not too much.
Basically, what he's telling you, don't wait until you have the problem. Prepare a list of things that you have done and you have achieved in your life, that you were facing some challenges and you were able to overcome it. Write it down and keep it in a place, like maybe in your notebook, or maybe if you have an iPad, keep it in an accessible place. And whenever you face a problem, pull one of these cookies, because when you go and read, you will realize that this is not the first time that I'm facing such a challenge. And I faced similar challenges, even maybe worse than that, and I was able to overcome it. And sense the shift in energy, what will happen to you, because again, it's a brain game. So don't allow your brain to trick you. Find the solution around it. Ask yourself, what can I do about it? Breathe in. Whether you believe it or not, it will work. We are a human being. It's a physical body. There is a system that follow every time.
Yeah.
So this
But-
is the main technique.
But you know, Ali, one of the challenges I believe when you dig deep and reflect too much inside you when there is a problem happened, sometimes I'm telling from my experience, even from my friends' experience, when you have a problem, people they care too much about the people perspective or the expectations from the other side. Maybe how my manager will look at me if I did this mistake. So as you said, we will be on a survival mood, and sometimes if the culture of the company or the culture of the place itself doesn't promote that this maybe they promote the blaming culture, and you will be in a place that you will think very negatively, and your mind will trick you as always going in these loops. Okay, what if my manager, how he will look at me, how she will look at me, how can I do this? So you will be always in this vicious cycle. How can we overcome this?
So I mean, as I told you at the beginning, it's not going to be easy. It's not that simple.
Mhm.
It just two main things that we need to keep it in our mind: awareness and discipline. Being aware of what's going through your mind when these thoughts comes, and the more you are raising your awareness, the more you catch it from the beginning, the easier that you can break this loop. And the more you can really follow these techniques, even if it doesn't work at the beginning. And based on many research, they are saying that if you want to break a habit, if you want to change something and you become or build a new one, you have 45 days. If you can just really push on yourself to do it right, after 45 days, it works fine. But this also brings me into how we can, I mean, in terms of raising the awareness, what kind of energy level that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can understand and be aware of what are those levels, so you can really shift from there, because at the end, for me, I don't think there is a right or wrong level of energy. It's at the end, all of them, they are necessary, because even
What do you mean by level of energy? Energy level.
so basically, as a human being, we have 7 level of energy. 7 level of energies. The first one is the victim. So believe it or not, the worst thing in the world is to victimize, is to feel guilty. So no matter what happened, try to stay away from it. So the first one is the core thought of it. It's victim. The emotion is guilt, feeling bad and I'm worthless. And usually the main action that come out of this is doing nothing, sitting or surrender. So if I can transfer this awareness to you, that when you start thinking and start to say this word, you are on this level, and then your brain start to think, you know what, this is not the right one that I want to be. Then you can start implementing these tools to shift up. Then you have the second level, which is conflict. So conflict is the core thought. The core emotion that come with it is anger, and usually the action is fight, is you know.
Back, yes.
So but believe it or not, being angry is better than being victimized.
At least you take action. At least.
Absolutely. And these two levels, the first two levels, it comes under what we call the catabolic energy, which is the destructive kind of energy, which is associated with the cortisol hormone that we were talking about, which we don't want it. But again, sometimes at work, if you have a team and you have a project and you have a deadline, sometimes you need to access this level of energy. So I need to be in conflict. I need to show them that, guys,
But
this
healthy conflict.
healthy conflict for them and for you. So the time that you go into this level, knowing that I don't want to impact myself, but I need to use it, and making sure the way that you put it into the team, because I totally agree with you, the way that you say it, which you refer to as healthy one, it makes a big difference. Because at the end, if the team recognize that you're doing it for the sake of the business and you are not using any kind of, or you are not misusing your position, then people will respect you more, because you are doing your best for the business and for themselves. So this is the second level of energy, which both of them, they come under this catabolic energy. Then the next 5, so lucky us, the next 5 levels, they are all anabolic, which is the positive kind of energy, the constructive level of energy, which comes with all these happy, lovely hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin and endorphin. So the third level, which for me is the window into this positive side, the core thought is responsibility. And the emotion there is forgiveness and then the action usually they do is cooperation. So basically, and this is usually the exit from those lower level, because you feel bad about yourself. I'm not good. I didn't do it right. But then the moment you ask yourself, okay, what can I do about it? This is where you enter level 3, responsibility. I'm taking responsibility of my feeling. I'm taking responsibility for what I want. I'm taking responsibility to move forward. And forgiveness, why? Because the moment you take responsibility, first of all, you forgive yourself, which is more important than forgiving anyone else. We are by far the only creature in the world that we pay for our mistakes many times. So you keep blaming yourself, you keep judging yourself. So the moment you take responsibility, you're forgiving yourself and you're forgiving the people around you. So this is level 3. Now level 4, the core thought is concern. And the main emotion there is in terms of helping others. So the main emotion for that,
support.
No. So basically the 4th level is concern, where you are trying to help and serving others. So the main emotion is feeling others and
helping them, supporting them.
Yeah, so absolutely. So all this kind of feelings that related to helping other people. But this level of energy sometimes is risky for simple reason, because in this level you try to think about others too much.
But don't you think concern here, it's negative emotion?
So concern is about others. So I concern about you. I want to
too
help
much
you.
about me.
I care about you. But then if you stay a lot in this level, what will happen that I give you a lot, but then you don't give me, and then suddenly I will drop from level 4 to level 1 because I feel guilty, victimized. I mean, how come
you don't give me?
Yeah,
I expect too much from you as I give.
So I did all of that for you, and you're not doing anything for me. So you need to be aware of that. Now, in level 5, which is the level where it's more collaboration between you and the others, and this is what we call the win-win situation, because in level 4 it's about you, but in level 5, where you are trying really to achieve a level of understanding each other, you make sure that either we win or we don't play, just simply like that. So if I'm going to do something with you in level 5, this means that we will go into work together and we're going to achieve something.
Yeah.
And usually the emotion there is peace, because I don't have a conflict with you. I'm not worried that you're going to misuse my honesty. We're going to work together, and usually the action that comes out of it is more collaboration, more joy, etc. Now this is the level number 5. Now when you enter level number 6, it's a little bit it's, they call it, I mean, the core thought is synthesis, and usually the emotion is peace, and the action or the result that comes out of it is wisdom. So this is where we will never lose. We will play no matter what. So this is where you start to find, I mean, you try to do your best regardless of what the result. And usually this is, we use it with our family. So when I play with my son, or when I deal with my family, I don't deal on, you know what, son, I'm going to do it to enjoy with you now, to play this game, but after 1 hour you will do it. You need to do something for me. No, it will never work like that. So this is where you start to connect more. Your judgment levels start to drop, and you become more in peace. Now, level 7, which is the level of, I would say, monks, or and I will tell you, you might sometimes even access that, is the zero judgment or non-judgment. This is the core thought of that. And usually the emotion with it is the absolute passion, and the result is creation. This is where you can create. And most of the time you can access this is during meditation, when you have a walk with the nature and you connect with it. There is no me and you in this. It's not about winning or losing. It's illusion. It's about really connecting and being grateful that we are on this planet. Now the key with these 7 levels, how you can be aware of them. At the end, whether you know or not, you are accessing all of them throughout the day. You are feeling bad about yourself, couple of minutes. You're feeling mad about others because they haven't done their job. You're taking responsibility. I need to do this. I will send this email. You do something for your friend, for your colleague. You try with a supplier to work. Let's do something for both of us. And you go for a walk and you do meditation. And there is something that I really like, because when you are in the seventh level where your judgment is 0, you can create a lot. And I don't know if you watch Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, there is this Jedi, and usually with the Jedi, whenever they have a problem, the master tell them go and meditate on it. And that's true, because if you meditate on it, you really reach to this level of creativity and you find a solution for it. And I truly believe in it. And this is where, if you want really to access this, simple thing that you can do is just make a practice to meditate, make a practice to go into the nature and connect with the nature, hug a tree and feel it, try to connect with it. It's unbelievable feeling that you can do. And as a human, we deserve to experience this. And what I'm trying to tell you is, try it, and if you don't like it, okay. But don't have this at the back of your mind, no, this is something strange. No, this is something being studied by lots of people, and it's proven that if you can be aware of these energy levels, and the more you raise your awareness and the more you be disciplined, then you can access wherever you want at the time that you want.
Those levels, on a daily basis, I can have those levels, ups and downs, with respect to people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it depends. If I'm talking about myself, for example, when I was in Syria, in the first 2 years here, I was 99% in level 1.
Victim.
Yeah, I'm the victim. Man, there is a war. Why me? Why me? I'm just going into. When I came here first, I was in the cement company where I used to enter this big limestone warehouse, which is dust and dirt. Why me? Why me? So I was there, but at that time, and this is the key, I was not aware of it. So I was inside this mentality without being aware. So we need to be careful about that. We need to be aware and try to use it for your benefit, because at the end, it's a game of energy. It's a game of how can I recognize and shift up from there.
Can I move from level 1 into level 7 in one time?
Definitely, because you can just simply do meditation and then you can jump there right away. Usually, I mean, from level 1 and 2, the best, and for me, the best thing that I can go is to level 3 by asking a simple question. Okay, this is bad. What can I do about it? Once you ask this question and try to find the answer, then you are entering level 3.
But sometimes there are people you don't want to forgive, you know? So you cannot, because as you said, maybe I give too much and I expect too much, but I don't. Even if I go as a monk and on the other side, I will never forgive. I know it's not easy, but how can we deal with such things?
So the main thing is, again, you need to raise the awareness that when you are forgiving someone, it's not for them, it's for you. And this is something being proven, because at the end, you want to continue in your life. So if you want to continue in your life and you feel better and you feel happy, then you need to forgive. There is no other option. There is no magical solution that you don't forgive and feel happy. No, we need to forgive. We need to move forward from there. And again, life is not easy. And that's why in any tools, in any I would say technique that we do, I always attach one extra step in whatever I teach, whether it's to myself, to my kid, to my family, to friends or to clients. The extra thing that always there is do your best. Just do your best. Not more, because you'll feel frustrated. Not less, because you'll feel guilty. Do your best. And step by step improve. You know this Japanese methodology called Kaizen, which is...
Yes, definitely.
This is a small, continuous small improvements. Every day you do a little bit improvement. Sometimes you will feel really bad, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do it. No. It's a human nature. We are emotional creature, and sometimes these emotions take control of us. The best thing to do is, I didn't do it right today. Next time I will do my best. If you can do that and you can believe in it, step by step, you will improve yourself, and again you will go into the right direction, because at the end there is a purpose, there is something that we need to fulfill in our life, and you cannot just surrender from the first time that you have a stop on your face. So you need to do your best.
Ali, last question that I'm so eager to ask you is, what is the most and best effective way to live a fulfilled life in my career and my entire life?
So if I can give just I would say like a 4-step framework that can help you to really feel better about yourself, so you can create more energy, and then you shift your energy level into higher ones so you can create more. I teach it from an amazing book by Don Miguel Ruiz called The 4 Agreements. So the first agreement, so basically what the guy is saying, that we are, we've been domesticated since we were kids in a specific principle or agreement that finish your food, otherwise something will be wrong. You need to make sure to work day and night to achieve what you to be successful. And while we were kids, we take this and we believe in it. And then even if our parents are not around, after a while we start to domesticate ourselves. We start to blame, and then you create this inner judge inside of you that will keep on judging you about that. So you need to break that and change these habits or change this agreement or principle. The first step, and you will like it, you need to forgive all these people. Without it, you cannot move forward. So I need to forgive whoever taught this to me. And before forgiving, I need to be aware of that, because if you are not aware of such a thing, about what you will forgive. So once you forgive them, once you are aware that this kind of habits or this kind of, I would say, agreements or principles are bad, then you can start feeding the new one. So those 4 agreements that this guy is talking about, the first one is be impeccable with your words. Impeccable means without a sin. Again, as I told you before, we are the only creature on the planet that we blame ourselves more, judging ourselves for the same mistakes unlimited number of times. So learning to be aware of about our language and words is the key. Words are flesh. The way you talk to yourself and to others will impact drastically. So, for example, if let's say you are always in this, poor me, I'm feeling bad, I'm not worth it, then believe it or not, the universe will give you what you want. So being able to really shift from there and start using positive words and changing some of the habits, and it's not going to be easy. I'll give you just a simple example. So whenever we are at work and we have some problems, we used to like to do gossiping, or oh my God, man, this project is unbelievable, and we feel good that I'm complaining,
my
but
emotions,
without knowing, this is very dangerous. So when I start raising my awareness at the beginning, when especially when I write it on Messenger, that man, I'm feeling bad with what my boss was saying. And after I send, I feel bad about feeling bad that I sent that.
Because you give him the same energy.
Now, after that, what I used to do is, then I jump to another level where I write the message and then I say, no, this is wrong. Delete it. How are you? Good. And things is better. Trust me. So the first one is be impeccable with your words. Second thing, which is one of the most difficult thing, don't take anything personal. Taking things personal is something, for me personally, at the beginning of my career, impacted me a lot. And sometimes I drop back into this, but I always try to find excuses for the others. Again, it's not for you, it's for me. Because the moment I take things personally, I will become blinded. I prepare myself for the fight mood, which is, again, shutting off your systems and not being able really to find a solution out. Third agreement, don't make assumptions. Because if you make assumptions, you will take things personally. And if you make assumptions, you waste your time, your effort, your energy about something 99.9% not true. The fourth agreement, which is my favorite by far, do your best. Because sometimes, some days, you will use negative words. It's okay. Be aware of it. Next time, do your best. Don't use it. Sometimes you will take things personally. It's okay. Next time, try not to do it. Do your best. Sometimes you will make assumptions. It's okay. Something happened. You are not able to control yourself. Next time, do your best. So doing your best is a key thing in anything. Even, by the way, in your career, while you're doing making a project or finishing something, we need to do our best, and we need to learn from our mistakes and failures. There are industries that they were able to grow and achieve amazing results through doing their best and learning from mistakes. Give you one example is the aviation. So although some people still scared of going into the plane, but believe it or not, the numbers showing that by far is the safest way for transportation. It's even safer than walking. So how they were able to do that, whenever they used to have problems back in the days, they've never, said, oh my God, we couldn't do it, we need to stop. Or anyway, you know what, we cannot do anything about it. No. What went wrong? What can we do to make it better next time? And year after year, they were able to do their best and see what happened there. And this is a methodology that they are trying to implement it everywhere, that failing is not anymore is a bad word, because when you say failing, there is something you need to add to it, which is learning. You were able to do your best and you have failed. That's an amazing thing. So next time you have something to do because you were able to identify yourself that you have failed, and then you can do your best next time.
Unleash is the bridge between my purpose and my mission. And my mission is
unleashing the human greatness to its utmost potential.